Anthony Blair, former Prime Minister of these United Kingdoms, has been, to put it mildly, a cancerous force on British politics for quite a while. Certainly since the Iraq War, dare I say, but before then as well. He's been mostly pushing AI for the Saudis, because why not? And now it turns out he's even worse. He's even worse than we thought he was when he should have been at The Hague for his war crimes. From the Financial Times, Tony Blair's staff took part in, quote, Gaza Riviera, unquote, project with BCG.
So I cover this on stream in a very kind of brief manner yesterday, in that this big consulting group called BCG worked in tandem with the CIA-linked Gaza Humanitarian Foundation over a relocation plan for Palestinians in Gaza, so it's with not, the US government and Israel.
It's not the Brisbane Cricket Ground?
No.
Oh, okay. Former UK Prime Minister's Institute participated in meetings on a plan to turn shattered enclave into trading hub. Very cool, very normal man. The Tony Blair Institute participated in a project to develop a post-war Gaza plan that envisaged kickstarting the enclave's economy with a, quote, Trump Riviera and a, quote, Elon Musk smart manufacturing zone, unquote. I don't think I've ever heard a more cancerous series of words in my life. Yeah, that is spectacular levels of monstrousness.
I mean, because of course you know Tony Blair is close with these people, all of the kind of tech bro oligarchs that are close with the Trump and Elon Musk government too, people like Palantir, etc., etc. I mean, like I literally just saw on my timeline as well is that Peter Mandelson, the appointed ambassador to the UK, one can only assume on the recommendation of Tony Blair, who has the ear of Keir Starmer, still has millions of pounds worth of shares in Global Counsel, the lobbyists for Palantir.
Massive surprise.
So this is wheels within wheels. They're just all connected to each other. It's just round.
It's just a big club of war criminal scum. Brilliant.
It is.
Brilliant. Awesome. The plan outlined in a slide deck seen by the Financial Times was led by Israeli businessmen and used financial models developed inside Boston Consulting Group, BCG, to reimagine Gaza as a thriving trading hub. So, look, that sentence, outside of the fact that it's Israeli businessmen and using financial models, look, okay, they're going to try and rebuild Gaza. That could be nice, couldn't it? That could be a lovely thing that they're trying to do. What do we think noted war criminal Tony Blair how he's going to take this? What do you reckon?
Yeah, like especially when the Trump Riviera project was explicitly the US annexing Gaza, right?
Yeah, no, it's a war crime, yes. Yeah.
Exactly. And when you say Israeli businessmen, how many Israeli businessmen do you think have any interest in spending money or time investing in the Gaza Strip if Israel or America don't control it?
Yeah. Titled Great Trust and shared with the Trump administration, it proposed paying 500,000 Palestinians to leave the area and attracting private investors to develop Gaza. So, financially paying people to be ethnically cleansed.
Literally, it's the bit from Trailer Park Boys where it just goes, I'm going to pay you $100 to fuck off.
Yeah, but like with an entire ethnic group.
Yes, indeed.
Look, why didn't the Zionists think of this earlier? Just pay people to leave the land you're going to take anyway. Like, what the fuck is this? Honestly, this is fucking monstrous. This is evil.
You couldn't. Like, Abby Wilkinson described Tony Blair as like a demonic individual.
Yeah.
And I'm inclined to be in that kind of mindset, right? You have to be a demon. You have to be a demon to do this.
I'm getting whiffs of sulphur. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. While the Tony Blair Institute, TBI, did not author or endorse the final slide deck, two staff members at the former UK Prime Minister's Institute participated in message groups and calls as the project developed, according to people familiar with the work. One lengthy document on post-war Gaza written by a TBI staff member was shared within the group for consideration. This included the idea of a Gaza Riviera with artificial islands off the coast akin to those in Dubai. Do you mean the ones that they can't sell now? The ones that are literally a massive boondoggle and an eyesore and a waste of money that no one wants to go to. Like that. But in Gaza instead.
For billionaires.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but even billionaires don't want to do the Dubai ones because they're shit. It's
True,
not a good
true.
idea. Islands off the coast akin to those in Dubai. Blockchain-based trade initiatives. Okay, I'll take back what I said earlier. That might be the most cancerous string of words ever. Blockchain-based trade initiatives.
Oh no.
Is the reason that humanity doesn't deserve to continue. A deep water port to tie Gaza into the India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor and low-tax special economic zone.
Right, so it's got everything that's the worst things of everything about modern economics, right? You've got tax havens, you've got free ports, you've got cryptocurrency, and you've got awful, like, petrochemical boondoggle projects, right? Like, it's everything that's wrong about it, plus includes Trump, Elon Musk, and Tony fucking Blair, and Israel.
And all built on the back of paying people to be ethnically cleansed. literally. And like, interesting point about the deep water port to tie Gaza. Remember with regards to the idea of creating the water corridor between the two seas to try and cut Egypt's bargaining power of the Panama Canalway? Suez. What was it called? The Ben Gurion Canal? Indeed, yes. Yeah, they were going to take the Suez Canal out of commission. Yeah. Unbelievable. Just, I mean, fucking mad.
Just like every single thing that people told the pro-Palestinians was a weird conspiracy theory just happens to be completely correct.
Yeah. Also, when people have talked in the past about Israel greenwashing the genocide, I didn't realise the green in question was the colour of the currency they were going to pay people to fuck off. Brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant. Okie doke. Right. The TBI document said the devastating war in Gaza had, quote, created a once-in-a-century opportunity to rebuild Gaza from first principles as a secure, modern, prosperous society. Oh my God, I nearly didn't make it through the sentence. My skin was crawling.
Literally, never let a good crisis go to waste. Which reminds me, this reminds me very specifically of that leaked document that showed that meeting of a bunch of businesses about how they could use the destruction of Ukraine as an opportunity to liberalize their markets and leave them open for business. Essentially so that oligarchs can come and carve up the remains of a devastated Ukraine. And they're going to do it to Gaza as well.
Yeah. It's a disaster tunity. Let's go. Like, what the fuck? That is... every time they quote something, it gets worse. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Once in a century opportunity. Oh, so you plan to do another one of these in another century? Cool, good, awesome. I do.
Next up, West Papua. We'll let Indonesia blow it to smithereens, right? And then we'll get in the billionaires linked to fucking, I don't know, who's a big ally, Australian billionaires, I don't know, to go in and then take advantage of it. You know, a paradise in the tropics.
Yeah.
Built on the back of ethnic cleansing of Papuans.
Yes. While there was some overlap, the Israeli businessman's slide deck, which runs to more than 30 pages, differed significantly from the paper written by TBI's staff. The Institute's document did not refer to the relocation of Palestinians, an idea championed by US President Donald Trump, Mr. America, earlier this year, but condemned internationally. When first approached by the FT regarding its role in the project, the TBI spokesman said, quote, your story is categorically wrong. TBI was not involved in the preparation of the deck, which was a BCG deck, and had no input whatsoever into its contents, unquote. The FT then provided details of a 12-person message group used for the project, including 2 TBI staff, BCG consultants, and the Israeli businessman. An unpublished TBI document shared within the group titled, quote, Gaza Economic Blueprint, unquote. Which is it's a bit smoking gun, that one.
Literally, I tell you what, that is like the Swedish-made penis enlarger pumps and me moment from Austin Powers.
It's not my bag. Look, Gaza Economic Blueprint is not my bag, baby. Okay.
one document entitled Gaza Economic Blueprint, signed by the Tony Blair Institute.
At this point, the TBI spokesman said, quote, "We have never said TBI knew nothing about what the group was working on, or that it weren't on calls in which the group discussed their plans," unquote. Oh, you slimy bastards. Oh, you're the worst people on earth. You really are. Oh, and there he is with his best friend Yasser Arafat, which is nice. There you go. What an anti-Semite. Which one am I talking about? Ew. TBI said that when meeting groups to discuss post-war plans, it is, quote, essentially in listening mode, unquote. The, quote, external TBI document looked at proposals being made by various parties and is one of many such internal documents, unquote. Which means that they're also scheming with lots of other evil bastards to do other evil things, which is nice. Quote, TBI emphatically did not provide its own internal document for the purposes of the BCG deck, it added. TBI staff saw the slide deck but didn't create it, the spokesman said. It would be wrong to suggest that we were working with this group to produce their Gaza plan. Unquote.
Maybe, right? Maybe if you were there to see it, might have been worth speaking up, or maybe selling literally anybody. There's this Israeli businessman that wants to pay people to be ethnically cleansed, and you're still there. Like, why are you not just immediately going and saying, look, this is an ethnic cleansing campaign, right? ICJ, hello, here's some documentation.
Yeah, it does. It is pertinent to the whole "are they doing genocide?" legal question. You know, just a thought. To produce their Gaza plan. TBI said Blair had sought a, quote, better Gaza for Gazans, unquote, for the past 2 decades. Quote, it has never been about relocating Gazans, which is a proposal TBI has never authored, developed, or endorsed, unquote. But you have happily ignored, apparently. That's absolutely fine. If other people are going to do it, I'm not going to stand in their way. No, heaven forbid. BCG's work relating to Gaza has put it at the centre of an international controversy. It helped establish a new Israel and US-backed aid scheme for the shattered enclave, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, whose launch has been marred by the deaths of hundreds of Palestinians. That's the regular daily flower murders that are taking place.
And it says marred by those murders, right? As if it says marred by the deaths, as if that is not, that's like some kind of other thing that's just happened to change. No, that's the point. The whole point of the GHF is to lure Palestinians into the collection zones so that they can shoot at them, right?
Yeah.
The troops, there are literally leaked WhatsApps of troops getting mad about the fact that because of this scandal, right, they've been told they can't be as free with the shooting anymore, that they were previously told that they could do, as leaked by Haaretz, right? And then, right, when they're not shooting at them, they're lacing the flower with drugs.
Yeah. That's the good thing about people who are queuing, is that they're still. And a still target is easier to hit than a moving one. Is literally Israeli government policy. Let that sink in for a second. Hundreds of Palestinians. It has disavowed much of the work, which it said was done largely without approval, and fired 2 partners who said it had misled senior executives.
At any point, was that because of the fact that also they're using this specifically to allow the tech people who are associated with the CIA to surveil Palestinians as well, to like facial recognition mapping on them?
Possibly.
Because they've also done that too.
Say? Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. No, this is literally one of the most egregiously obvious examples of the worst people in the world picking away at the corpse of Palestine in the most grotesque way. Like it's like the race for Africa, but you've got like planes.
The race for Gaza.
Yeah. Where are we?
The FT revealed.
Yeah. The FT revealed that the BCG team had also modelled the reconstruction of Gaza. The team was working in direct contravention of an order not to do the project, the consulting firm has said. Quote, the work was not a BCG project, and BCG categorically told the lead partner not to do the work, BCG said. It was orchestrated and run secretly outside any BCG scope or approvals. We fully disavow the work. BCG swiftly exited both partners involved in the work. Unquote. So, yeah. Washing your hands of that. TBI said the FT had been, quote, fed this information regarding its involvement by people anxious to deflect from their own role, unquote. So the dark arts are at play, are they, Mr. Blair? You should get your friend, noted friend of pedophilia, current ambassador to the United States, no less, on board. Do you remember him? Do you remember Mr. Mandelson? Sorry, Lord Mandelson?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's a friend of. When you say friend of the person who's a paedophile, right? Those friends of convicted sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, or previous friends, or whatever. Yeah,
that. The group of Israeli businessmen behind the project, including tech investor Liran Tankman and venture capitalist Michael Eisenberg, had earlier sketched out and helped set up the GHF, according to people familiar with their role. Phil Riley, a good Irish name there, love it, an ally of the businessman who now runs security operations for GHF, courted Tony Blair at a meeting in London in March. TBI said that Riley, a former CIA officer and BCG advisor, had requested the meeting, quote, again Mr. Blair listened, but as you know, TBI is not a part of GHF, unquote.
It's interesting how all of these people who are there specifically in close connections with egregious dystopian war crimes all happen to just meet each other over cocktails, huh?
Well, that's the thing. You've got to network in the world of genocide, you know?
Yeah.
The businessman's post-war blueprint imagined an expanded role for the aid operation, which would provide temporary housing to Palestinians who stayed in the territory, while cash payments and food and rent subsidies totaling $9,000 per head would encourage a quarter or more of the population to leave. That's genocide. You are literally planning to do genocide while still already doing genocide.
You can't make this shit up. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm living through a fucking nightmare at this point. It's so dystopian.
It's mad. It's fucking mad.
It's depraved.
Yeah.
It's absolutely depraved. That's what it is, you know? And that's the thing, is that this is all being set up deliberately under a plan that's been done by, like, a corporate lobbying firm alongside a front organization for the CIA.
Yeah.
It's just wheels within wheels.
Yeah. Oh my god, the title. Oh, prepare yourself for an absolute belter here. The final slide deck titled, quote, The Great Trust, from a demolished Iranian proxy to a prosperous Abrahamic ally, unquote. Just let that series of words sink in. It's like you're asking for a holy war, really. Has been shared with members of the current and former US administrations, according to people familiar with the project, along with other governments and stakeholders in the Middle East. Quote, GREAT is short for Gaza Reconstruction. Is it? Oh, sorry. Right. There was a comma, Kev, not a full stop. Gaza Reconstruction, Economic Acceleration and Transformation.
Like, I love how the only way that they can think that Gaza can be a good place to live is if they turn it to a hyper-capitalist hellscape.
Yeah.
Hate these people.
Yeah.
Hate these people.
Also, very Doge coded. You have to make it into a word. It envisaged all Gaza's public land being put into a trust for development. I mean, literally, this is the most dystopian shit.
Just sell off the public land of the place that used to be the home for Palestinians, right?
Yeah.
And make sure that American billionaires can come and buy it.
Yeah. Whose assets could be sold to investors via digital tokens traded on a blockchain.
Literally fucking carving up Gaza for crypto bellends. Oh, why is this getting worse?
How is it? How? Yeah. Gazans would be offered the chance to contribute their privately owned land to the trust in return for a token that gave them the right to permanent housing unit. Oh, it got worse. How in the same fucking stanza, did it get worse? How? It's the same paragraph.
Oh, and of course the slide is fucking AI generated.
They all are, yeah.
It's just fucking, it's the Andrew Tate Bruv manifesto.
It
Except
really is.
like a dystopian ethnic cleansing monster campaign.
The deck was... Yeah, go on, sorry.
I could laugh at the Andrew Tate eat stuff. This is, oh my god, this genuinely makes me weep for humanity.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord.
The deck was produced in April, before Israel and the US launched attacks on Iran, and the group's ideas are evolving in light of that war, the people said. Quote, "It is the work of a group of business people who have worked tirelessly over the past 20 months to create a better future for Gaza," said one of the people. Honestly, that person needs to be at The Hague. Okay.
It's interesting that, again, they say, oh, well, this is the work of a group of business people who have worked tirelessly to make a greater... I'll start that one, fucking Jesus Christ, right? They say it's about business people wanting to create a better future for Gaza. It's interesting how their better future means better future for other business people. Yeah. Actual Gazans, not so much.
No, well, they don't envisage any of those people existing anymore, I don't think. Or paying the ones that do to fuck off.
Yeah.
And I imagine there might be elements of coercion involved in that £9,000 as well. Or dollars, whatever. The trust, which would be overseen by the Israeli government, I mean, time out there.
Course.
Time the fuck out there. Oh, this is going to work then. No, this will work perfectly well. Would have administrative rights over the enclave until Gaza, quote, is demilitarized and de-radicalized, which, again, they'll never accept. Because they're never going to accept that it's been demilitarized. So basically, this is just the Israeli government taking over Gaza. For crypto bros. Brilliant. And authority could be passed to an independent Palestinian polity. Yeah, that's not
interesting. They don't say Palestinian state, right?
No.
Independent Palestinian polity, they mean still under occupation, because that's what they talk about Gaza. Say, oh, well, since the unilateral disengagement protocol, right, under Ariel Sharon, that means that it's no longer occupied, apart from, of course, it is, because it's not an actual state of itself. It's still dependent on Israel for loads of parts of it, which will almost certainly be what the independent Palestinian polity means in reality there, okay? And also... rewind, you say to radicalize the Palestinians. Mate, those aren't the people who need de-radicalizing. Have you seen the pro-ethnic cleansing polls? The pro-rape riots in Israel? I think you're looking in the wrong direction here.
The project is one of a burgeoning number of post-war Gaza plans from governments and independent groups. The Arab League has endorsed a $53 billion reconstruction program laid out by Egypt in March, while private think tanks including RAND, lol, have set out their own proposals. During Trump's first term in the White House in 2020, he set out another long-term peace plan for the region that included the economic development of Gaza, which was rejected by the Palestinians. In February, he suggested Gaza should be emptied of Palestinians, while the US took it over to redevelop the enclave as, quote, Riviera of the Middle East, unquote. Lovely.
It's interesting as well how they all keep saying, even in 2020 before the conflict, and so we need to have an economic development of Gaza. Have you considered maybe the Gazans liked the place they lived? If you look at pictures of Gaza pre-genocide, right, it looks like a burgeoning, lovely place to live. Right there on the coast with for the tower blocks, right? Nice place to live, nice houses, okay, you know?
Yeah, looks fine.
It didn't... People kept saying, oh, well, it's terrible. They could have made it the Singapore of the Middle East. Doesn't look like a bad place to live, apart from all the cookies that you can't eat because Israel blocked them in case they get turned into Qassam rockets.
Yeah, no, well, Des Tiny told us, didn't they? The sugar will be made into rocket fuel, and I'm definitely right, and not at all a piece of shit. By the way, as an aside, you can cut this bit out when you fucking put it up online or whatever. But did you see the clip of him from his trip to Israel? Basically, talking to a group of like IDF ghouls, going on about. Don't film yourself doing the war crimes and then dancing around in underwear because it makes you look bad.
Literally.
So don't stop doing it. That's absolutely fine. Do it. Just don't film yourself doing it because it makes my job of defending you less easy. The slide deck prepared by the Israeli businessman was, quote, an economic exploration of the ideas brought by President Trump, unquote, according to one of the people familiar with its preparation. It contains flourishes specifically designed to attract the attention of the US president and Gulf leaders, which might support aspects of the plan. Among 10 mega projects, the document includes the MBS Ring and MBZ Central Highways, named after the leaders of Saudi Arabia, that would be the one that melts journalists, and the United Arab Emirates. Mohammed bin Salman and Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, I apologise profusely to, well, not him, but to Arab people more broadly, respectively, and quote, Elon Musk Smart Manufacturing Zone, unquote, on the Gaza-Israel border, where US electric vehicle companies would build cars for export to Europe.
It's just colonial. I mean, and they try and tell you that Israel isn't a colonial project, and you just look at them going, we're just going to allow Elon Musk to colonize Gaza to use as a fucking factory to build his fucking cars in. This is just the sickest shit you've ever seen in your life.
It literally is. They're building a car plant on the corpse of Palestine so they can build electric vehicles by tech bros for Europe.
Again, and just carving up the country to then create vanity projects for specific political leaders who they want to curry favourability with. It's so sick. It's genuinely sick.
Yeah. I can't wait for the Ramallah Hyperloop. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. It was prepared at a time when Musk was one of Trump's closest advisors before their subsequent souring of relations. That's the point. When Trump throws him out of the country, he can go and live in New Gaza. The Riviera. Fucking prick. Look at this. What a fucking mess. The plan also envisages what the author called the Gaza Trump Riviera and islands. Quote, world-class resorts along the coastline and on small artificial islands similar to the Palm Islands in Dubai. Such islands are also mentioned in the TBI document.
Sure, I just want to have a quick look at the graph that they've got here, like the diagram of all of the mega projects here. And also want to take everybody's
let's see if we can zoom
attention.
In slightly.
Yeah. Let me just get everyone's attention paid to the fact they call it the Gaza Arish Sderot Special Economic Zone. So you are annexing it, right? Sderot is a city, the other side of the Gaza border. If they're all part of the same special economic zone, that's annexation, right? It's so obvious.
The American Data Safe Haven, regional data centers with special US AI regulation. Oh my.
Oh dear Lord.
God. The Abrahamic Infrastructure Corridor, railway pipeline and fibre connections to regional hubs. The slide deck describes how the new highways, port and airport would turn Gaza into a trading hub and secure US industry access to the $1.3 trillion of rare earth minerals in the Gulf from Western Saudi Arabia.
Oh, so it's about the rare earth minerals, isn't it? Exactly.
It always is.
How are these people different to Vladimir Putin, right? How are these people different to Vladimir Putin? Because that's what he's doing in Ukraine, trying to conquer it for the minerals he'd have access to and the additional land and the economic prosperity and the land border between Rostov and across Crimea, right? That's all it is. They want the land bridge at Gaza so they have access to be able to do the Ben Gurion Canal, and they want access to all of the minerals that exist there. It's just a big colonization plan identical to what Putin wants to do, right? These people are evil.
Yeah, and of course, he was foolish to do that, Putin, because what he should have done is just invited Zelensky to the Kremlin, embarrassed him, and then forced him to sign a minerals deal. Oh, Donald Trump did that, didn't they? They literally know better.
Yeah.
They know better at all.
No better at all.
The slide deck is also peppered with the logos of companies and authors inspired to attract to Gaza, from Tesla and Amazon Web Services to IKEA and the hotels group IHG. There is no indication that the companies had any awareness of the project. Oh no, I'm sure they didn't. No, heaven forbid that they would be involved in such things. Using a complex financial model produced by the BCG team, the plan assumed 25% of Gazans would leave, a majority never to return.
So ethnic cleansing.
Yeah, just a cheeky bit of genocide. Lovely. It said the relocation scheme would cost $5 billion, but that it would create, quote, $23,000 saving on every Palestinian relocating, because subsidies were cheaper than spending on housing support and other costs in the territory.
Literally, we will pay you to leave because it's too expensive to care about your needs, right? Fuck off to Egypt, become their problem, right? We'll save money not having to deal with the negative externalities of you wanting to live. Like, these people, I'm sorry, round these people up and send them to The Hague. Send them,
There
do not
needs,
pass go.
yeah, there needs to be genuinely there needs to be a Nuremberg 2 electric boogaloo on this.
Oh, 100%, 100%, 100%.
Like this is Nazi level evil. It
Yeah.
genuinely is. Increasing the number of Gazans who left during the reconstruction would further reduce costs, it said. Because these aren't people, these are just costs. You understand. Together with the flourishing of industry and growing GDP, the plan would increase the value of Gaza from 324 billion, sorry, to 324 billion from $0 today, according to BCGs.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that Gaza is worth more than that to the Gazans who live there. But of course, as we've found out already, these people don't matter.
True. A 5-person BCG team that produced the model and created graphics for inclusion in the slide deck were working without billing for the work. So they're doing genocide for free.
For the love of the game.
Pro bono. Without billing. Characterising it as business development, according to people familiar with the project. They did not give the Israeli businessmen or TBI direct access to their calculations, hoping that they could one day use the model to win paid work. It's monstrous. It's so fucking evil. Oh, quote. BCG offered to do pro bono work, and of course the group jumped on it because of BCG's experience at planning large reconstruction projects around the world, and their expertise in innovative funding models, including tokenization. Is that tokenization of people, or what?
So, you're going to put the Gazans on the blockchain, right? We'll relocate them from Gaza to the blockchain.
Yeah. Said one person familiar with the project. The consultants provided modelling, benchmarking, and slide crafting, the person said, calling it phenomenal work.
Phenomenally evil.
Honestly, you need to be at The Hague for your crimes. All of you. Anyone involved in this, up to and including Tony fucking Blair, needs to be at The Hague immediately. Because this is spectacularly, almost unbelievably evil. And you know what's the extra kick in the bollocks? Is that it's all AI shit. Look at these fucking boats on the waterfront here. What the it's not, that's not a port. They're just beached, apparently. This image doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just slop. AI slop. Built on the fucking, on the corpse of Gaza. I cannot even get into words the level of
depravity.
It's not just evil. It's like inhumanity. People shouldn't be able to do this. I don't know how a person can behave in the way these people do and not like their mind disintegrate.
Just the imagining of like you've gone out and just sitting around like a table in an office somewhere, right? A board meeting somewhere, just continually just discussing together, strokey beard, I wonder what the future of Gaza might be. And it's just, are we going to turn it into Elon Musk's Tesla factory, and whilst ethnically cleansing a quarter of the population?
Yeah, and you wouldn't, but no one wants to buy a fucking Tesla. The left hate him because of his involvement with Trump, and now he's turned against Trump. The right hate him. He's going to sell 3 cars next year. Honestly, AI tech bro people are a cancerous scourge that need to be excised from the body politic.
It's so true. It's so true.
In every capacity. What good do they do? Can any single person out there tell me what these fuckers do that's positive for humanity? I'll await your answer with bated breath. They're scum. They're absolute scum. And these people need to be dealt with in entirely legal ways.
Oh, like literally, like as somebody literally pointed out, like imagine if they tried to do this with Germany after the war. Like imagine if they go like, look how terrible Dresden is. What if we took Dresden and we sold it to fucking I don't know, fucking J.D. Rockefeller?
Well, this is how it's changed. There was a thing called the Morgenthau Plan, which was named after Henry Morgenthau, who was like Deputy Secretary of State or something. Anyway, and it was a very stupid plan, which was to have Germany turned into an entirely agricultural society. to literally remove all industry so that they couldn't make war anymore. I understand his thinking. Very silly plan. The fact that it was ever signed on to, albeit briefly, by FDR was very stupid, and they used it in propaganda and so on and so forth. But even that, by comparison, they weren't planning on moving a single German out of Germany. Under that plan, at least all of the Germans could stay and work on the farms that were there. Right? Like, even the dumbest plan they came up with fucking 80 years ago was positively idyllic by comparison to the thing they want to do now. And this is the thing. None of the people, like I've said that I think there should be a Nuremberg too, right? There won't be. I'm not fucking stupid. I know how the world works. These people will get away with it scot-free because they're fucking evil. But the point is that you can do this openly. You can plan and carry out an ethnic cleansing genocide campaign for tech bro dickheads and fucking electric vehicles that no one wants to buy. That's fine. But if you chant death to the IDF or say something along the lines of I support Palestine action, you go to jail as a terrorist.
Yeah, which you're not allowed to say. Remember, you're not allowed to say.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Say.
I was saying something along those lines. If you were to say that, that would be illegal.
We're not saying that because that would be illegal.
Obviously.
It's illegal to say those words. Yeah,
it's illegal.
Exactly.
It's very much illegal. And as you know, the people who write the law have your best interests at heart. So you should always follow it to the letter, scrupulously.
Exactly.
Yes. So that's fine. Look, we need the real problem is Bob Villain rather than these people who are actually villains.
Have you seen that their career is over by the fact that they are number one in the charts?
They're number one in the hip hop and R&B charts. They are number 3, I think, in the download charts, and number 8 overall. Which, considering in the week after Glastonbury, everyone's sales go through the roof because you get massive exposure, right? And they were a midday, or slightly after midday, but in middle of the day, act on the 3rd biggest stage at the festival, and they are the story. Yeah, their sales have gone through the roof. Their numbers on Spotify they have to invent a new type of graph to show you how much it's gone up. The stonks on Bob Villain are, crazy. Yeah, it's nonsense. Utter nonsense. They played everyone's like, oh, the gigs are all been cancelled. Except, of course, they did a co-headline thing with Prodigy in Athens this week. In front of like 50,000 people or something. Like
Bob Villain got removed as a headliner at Radar Festival, so a bunch of other bands have just pulled out.
Yeah, loads of bands were okay. We're not fucking playing your festival then.
No,
exactly. And rightly so. Yeah, solidarity, absolutely, because it could be you.
Solidarity
next.
Forever.
Like the Niemoller poem. You don't just read the first line. Read the whole thing, okay, and take it in. If you don't protect other people when the authorities come for them, by the time they get round to you, and they fucking will, because this is how authoritarianism works, there won't be anyone left. So stand up for Bob Villain or Kneecap or whoever they come for, because it protects you as much as it protects anybody else. Anyway, so yeah. But this is, Tony Blair, as if you needed any further proof, he and his works, all of his works, are those of the devil.
That is true. Literally Satan.